Good afternoon, everybody. In the previous class, we have discussed about magnetic field due to a solenoid, the magnetic force acting on a charged particle, the magnetic force acting on a current carrying wire. So, what we have discussed in the magnetic field due to a solenoid? Yes, the magnetic field due to a solenoid is uniform inside it, and also inside the solenoid only. The magnetic field due to a solenoid outside it is 0. Or the magnetic force acting on a charged particle, F is equals to BQV sin theta. The maximum magnetic force is F is equals to PQV. The minimum magnetic force F is equals to 0. Whereas in the case of magnetic force acting on a current carrying wire, the expression for the magnetic force acting on a current carrying wire is F is equals to Bell sin theta. So here the maximum magnetic force is F is equals to BIL and the minimum magnetic force is F is equals to 0. So up to this we discussed in the previous class. Now let's see the magnetic force acting on a current carrying wire activity. So we do this activity in our lab later. Now briefly let's see. So what is about its aim? Okay, magnetic force acting on a current carrying wire. So for this, let's take two sticks in this way on a wooden plane. So here there is a wire passing, and the two ends of this wire are connected to the two terminals of a battery. And here there is a switch. Okay, when we close this switch, what happens? Current flows through the circuit, through the wire. Current flows in the circuit and current flows through this wire. Now here you take a horseshoe magnet. A horseshoe magnet in this way. Okay, so here the wire is okay, the current is flowing through the wire in this way, and here there is a horseshoe magnet. So this is north pole of a magnet and this is south pole of a magnet. This is a north pole of a magnet and this is a south pole of a magnet. So here we kept a horseshoe magnet in this way. Okay, so here there is a flow of current through the wire, and this is the north pole of a horseshoe magnet and this is the south pole of a horseshoe magnet. And the two poles of horseshoe magnet creates uniform magnetic field from its north pole to south pole. Here there is a uniform magnetic field from its north pole to south pole, and here the current is flowing along the wire from left to right, from right to left. Now let's see here in what direction the magnetic force acts on a current carrying wire. So to know the direction of a magnetic force acting on a current carrying wire by the external magnetic field of a horseshoe magnet, so we use right hand thumb rule or Fleming's left hand rule or also Fleming's right hand rule. Now simply let's take a right hand thumb rule. So in the right hand thumb rule, what we do? We take the fingers of our right hand in the direction of a current and then we curl them into the direction of a external magnetic field. Then thumb represents the direction of a magnetic force. Now take, this is the direction of a flow of a current, yes, and then curl the fingers in the direction of a magnetic field from north to south. This is the direction of a magnetic force acting on a current carrying a wire by the external magnetic field due to horseshoe magnet. Okay, that's why actually if there is no any horseshoe magnet here, the current wire is straight from left to right. But whereas due to the presence of a horseshoe magnet, okay, the actual magnetic field of a horseshoe magnet exerts the magnetic force on the current carrying wire in the downward direction. That's why here the wire is in the bent form in the downward direction. Okay. Now see here. So here this right hand rule, right hand thumb rule, or else Fleming's left hand rule, or else Fleming's right hand rule tells in what direction the current wire bends. So before bends, okay, and here these rules not tell why the wire is bending in that direction. Okay, so before going to know that, let's apply to remember, okay, the Fleming's left hand rule and Fleming's right hand rule. So in the Fleming's left hand rule, what we do? Yes, we stretch the three fingers perpendicular to each other in this way, and forefinger represents the direction of magnetic field, middle finger represents the direction of a current, thumb represents the direction of a force. Now take is, so from north to south, this is the direction of a magnetic field, and this is the direction of a current, and here thumb representing the direction of magnetic force acting on a current carrying wire. Now let's apply Fleming's right hand rule. In the Fleming's right hand rule, yes, we stretch the three fingers of our right hand in this way. Forefinger represents the direction of a current, or else the direction of motion of a positive charge, and middle finger represents the direction of a magnetic field, thumb represents the direction of magnetic force. Now see here, let's take a forefinger in the direction of a current and middle finger in the direction of a magnetic field, and automatically thumb represents the direction of magnetic force acting on a current carrying a wire. So here the magnetic force acts in the downward direction, that's why it bent in the downward direction. Suppose if there is no any current in the wire, if we off the switch, or else if we open the circuit, current does not flows through the wire, then there is a magnetic field due to the horseshoe magnet, but there is no current. Then the external magnetic field does not exert any force on it, and we can see the straight form of the wire, because external magnetic fields can exert the magnetic force on moving charged particles only. On moving charged particles only. Why external magnetic fields can exert magnetic force on moving charged particles only? Okay, so moving a charged particle means charged particles can have electric field. Okay, so moving a charged particle, okay, have, that is varying the electric field, and that varying electric field creates a magnetic field. Okay, so here when we take a external magnetic field, okay, when we take a external magnetic field on a current carrying a wire, here okay, that the current carrying wire also produces the magnetic field, and here there is an external magnetic field. So here these two overlaps, okay, these two magnetic fields overlaps and become a non-uniform. That means at a certain region the strength of the magnetic field is high, and at a certain region the strength of the magnetic field is less. Because of this non-uniform magnetic field, that current carrying a wire experience the net magnetic force from S more strength of the magnetic field to lesser strength of the magnetic field, from S strong magnetic field to weak magnetic field. When there is no flow of current to the wire, and if you take horseshoe magnet, so here there is a magnetic field only with the horseshoe magnet. Suppose when we on the switch, when current flows through the circuit, so here there are two fields. One is magnetic field due to a horseshoe magnet, so from its north pole to south pole, and the magnetic field due to the current carrying wire. So here the resultant magnetic field exists. Now let's see here how it is. So let's take, this is the uniform magnetic field by the horseshoe magnet, and this is the uniform magnetic field due to the current carrying wire, current flowing into a plane. Suppose when we take a horseshoe magnet over a current carrying a wire, see, it represents the resultant magnetic field. The resultant magnetic field. That means these two magnetic fields get combined. So over the current carrying wire, the resultant magnetic field is more, and below the current carrying wire, the resultant magnetic field is less. In the upper part of the current carrying wire, these two magnetic fields get a sum up, whereas in the lower part of the current carrying wire, these two magnetic fields are in opposite direction, so get a subtract. So therefore, the resultant magnetic field due to a uniform magnetic field by a horseshoe magnet and a uniform magnetic field by a current carrying wire are non-uniform. This is the resultant magnetic field of these two, and this is a non-uniform. In the upper part of the current carrying wire, the magnetic field is more, and in the lower part of the current carrying wire, the magnetic field is less. So because of this non-uniform magnetic field, this current carrying a wire moves from a strong magnetic field to a weak magnetic field. So this is the reason why the current carrying a wire moves in the presence of a uniform magnetic field. Okay, so this is the reason for the bent form of the current carrying wire in the presence of a uniform magnetic field. Okay, thank you.